the young man made an unexpected discovery. The broken wooden stick that no one wanted by the roadside was actually an antique walking stick worth millions. Excitedly, he ran over and picked it up. Just then, the foreman approached and, seeing the young man, impatiently urged him to get to work, or he would have a day's wages deducted. The young man, about to strike it rich, was immediately indignant. He took off his work clothes and quit, intending to sell the valuable stick. But on his way, he happened to pass an antique stall. He immediately squatted down and activated his golden eye to examine it. To his astonishment, he actually discovered a blue-on-white porcelain vase worth 3 million. Seeing this, the young man suppressed his elation, not wanting the stall owner to notice anything amiss. The young man casually picked up a porcelain bowl and asked the shopkeeper the price. Upon hearing this, the shopkeeper immediately praised the young man for his discerning eye, claiming that the bowl he held was once reserved for emperors. He even offered to sell it to him for 500 yuan. However, the young man scoffed and instantly revealed the bowl's origin, stating that although he was young, he wasn't easily fooled. Seeing the young man about to leave, the shopkeeper quickly tried to persuade him to stay, saying he wouldn't boast anymore and that the young man could name whatever he wanted, and he would definitely give him a fair price. Seeing his opportunity, the young man casually pointed to a blue-on-white porcelain vase and asked the shopkeeper for a price. The shopkeeper, unaware of its value, immediately offered only 1,000 yuan, saying he could take the vase. Overjoyed, the young man readily agreed and transferred the money. However, upon closer inspection, he noticed the vase was covered in a layer of mud. Realizing the vase wasn't from someone else, he asked the shopkeeper if it was freshly dug from the mountain. The shopkeeper panicked and quickly explained he'd bought them in the countryside. Seeing his anxious expression, the young man had a plan. A new way to make money was emerging, and without further questioning, he got up and left. Soon, the young man arrived at the antique shop, ready to sell the vase. The manager immediately recognized it as a 500-year-old blue-on-white porcelain jar. However, seeing the young man's youth, he initially offered only 1 million yuan, but the young man smiled and stated he wouldn't sell the jar for less than 3 million. This shocked the manager, as the price was exactly what he had estimated. Seeing the young man's calm demeanor, the manager immediately concluded he was also an expert in antique appraisal. He then said he would befriend the young man and buy the vase at the price offered. The young man was overjoyed to receive the money. He hadn't expected to earn millions in half a day, something he had never even dreamed of before. After leaving the antique shop, the young man was already envisioning a bright future. Suddenly, he frowned. He remembered what the stall owner had said earlier. So, the young man immediately grabbed a basket and went up the mountain, hoping to find some more treasures. Taking a deep breath, the young man activated his golden eyes. Soon, under the scrutiny of his golden eyes, the value of everything around him became clear. He quickly discovered an antique plum blossom vase worth 20 million buried in the ground. The young man hurriedly and carefully began digging. Before long, he unearthed the buried treasure. Just as he placed the antique porcelain into his basket, he discovered a century-old Lingji mushroom worth 2 million nearby, along with an antique teacup. The young man was overjoyed. By the end of the day, he had amassed a rich harvest. Soon, the young man arrived at the antique shop again. Just then, the female CEO of Zhangqing's top conglomerate happened to be there. When the young man greeted her, the female CEO showed a disdainful look. The young man didn't care. He immediately